Hey everyone, Brian here, Hodges1455, coming at you with another video. In today's video, I'm doing a video response for John Mangini, who put out a video just a couple weeks ago on should I upgrade? And I thought that was a great topic. He made a great point that some cards are listed as filler, encouraging you to buy that one now and get a better one later. He posted the week after I just finished buying 25 1950s cards from Greg Moore's Cards. 4 of them said low grade filler in the listing, 10 said low grade crease, and the other 11 said VGEX crease. I'm not looking to upgrade any of them. They are all perfect fits for my collection. John said for the most part, when he gets a card in his collection, that is the one he's going to keep. And I would consider myself in the same boat, in the same mindset there. But I do have some other points on the topic I'd love to make. I want to show some cards here. This first one is a 1953 Topps. I got this from Lenny in a care package. And for those of you that don't know, I am working on building the 1953 Topps set. And I am not looking to ever upgrade this card. This is, as far as I'm concerned, the Chuck Dressen in my 1953 Topps set. And just thrilled to own it and have it as part of my set, not have to worry about getting this card later. Next card I want to share is this Pete Rose. I did a video on this some time ago, but this is a grandma card. You can't beat a grandma card. This was actually a birthday gift from my grandma, the only card she gave me on my 6th birthday. It was in the middle of a binder page. She gave me a stack of binder pages to start my baseball card collection in a book. And this was in the top page. I'll just never forget, this was my first nice card in my collection. And just really a memorable card. So even though just a few years ago, I went out because that was 6-year-old me that had that card, putting it in and out of binder pages that were more like semi-rigids than penny sleeves back then. I went out and got a nicer condition copy just to remember what the card originally looked like. I really enjoy looking at both. Is this an upgrade? No, of course not. This holds way more value to me personally. I just wanted to get a nicer copy, and I don't necessarily consider this an upgrade by any stretch of the imagination. Next card I want to share here is a card I got with another memory attached to it. This is my 1957 Topps Don Drysdale rookie card. I picked this up after doing a book report in high school. Got my brother, who had an eBay account, he was 4 years older than me, to help me bring this card home, and I was super ecstatic to get this in the mail. And even though sometime later I went ahead and picked up a nicer condition copy, I would not consider this an upgrade over this one. Because if I had to choose which one I would want to keep in my collection, even not selling the other one, even if I had just had to destroy one, I would keep this one because it holds more value to me. Another card in my collection is the 67 Topps Eddie Matthews. Now, this one does have a story of upgrading. This was my upgraded copy for this card in my collection. It's probably the only time I would actually consider myself ever actually upgrading a card. I was at a show in Strongsville and picked up a copy of this card at the table right before this table that I picked up this card at. was an ungraded copy, and it had a couple of flaws on it, which I was okay with. And I ended up paying $15 for that card. But I didn't look very closely at it because I was talking to a buddy of mine and was really distracted at the show. And I was purchasing that card. And I noticed the two other flaws later, one of which didn't really bother me too much, but the other one really did. And I just didn't like the feeling that I had knowing that I felt like I messed up buying that card. And that's not a feeling that you want to have as a collector. You want to pick up your card and enjoy it and not have a bad memory associated with it. So I knew right then that, as soon as I saw this at the next table and picked this one up, that I made the right choice to move on from my other one. I ended up trading it at the local card shop for 10 vintage dollar box cards. And I valued those 10 cards more than the Eddie Matthews that I no longer wanted in my collection, that I viewed as a mistake. I was so thrilled to get 10 cards that I really wanted, and this copy instead. And it's not like I don't mind having dupes of cards, or even a dozen of a card. I even ended up picking a second copy up later, because I really do enjoy the card. I'm thrilled to have that one in the collection. But that was my one true upgrade, I guess you could say, example of my collection. But here's something that I'd love to get your opinion on. This is a 1952 Bowman Smokey Burgess. This is one of the most gorgeous baseball cards I've ever seen in my life. Just fantastic image. Love catcher cards anyways. And this is what the back of the card looks like. But just so thrilled to have this in my collection. Absolutely love looking at that card. It's in my nightstand. I look at it all the time. And later on, I saw this on eBay, ending at auction. And I picked this one up after I had already purchased this one sometime earlier. It's not like I forgot I purchased this. I look at it all the time. So if the reverse happens, would this be a downgrade? But if you wouldn't call this a downgrade, wouldn't that be something that you would associate with selling the upgraded copy? I think that's what most people consider downgrading. You get a lesser copy and you sell the higher copy to get other cards. But I have no intention of selling either one of these. I love both of them. I could have a dozen of this copy of a card. I just thought that was funny that I got the lower graded or lower conditioned copy after the nicer copy. So when the reverse is true, when you have a copy like this and then you get this, most people would consider this an upgrade. But I'm not planning on getting rid of either card, so I just think that's kind of funny. Is there a hobby term for that? I don't even know. I don't think there is. The next point I really want to make on upgrading is most people think there are certain drastic things to cards that they just can't even stand having a card in their collection with a certain issue. For example, creases through faces. Love this George Mullen, Detroit Tiger great. Has creases through his face. And I really love this card. I just absolutely love it. I knew the condition of it before I even bought it. I have no plans on ever upgrading this card. But some people would consider that not even a card that they would want in their collection. And here's another example of a crease through a face. I'm just happy to own a Whitey Ford rookie. I'm just so thrilled to even just own this card. And I care less if there's a crease through his face. I'm not looking at the crease, I'm looking at the whole card. And Here's the back. I have no intention of ever upgrading this card. And then here's one last example here. Crease through the face. Like I said, some people, I mean, this has got creases everywhere. This was probably in some kid's back pocket riding the school bus. I mean, it's got creases everywhere. But really thrilled to just own a copy of this Frank Robinson card. This is my favorite Frank Robinson card. And I knew it would be a while before I picked up a nicer copy. And I saw this in a dollar box, and I just had to have it, just so I could appreciate a copy in my collection for what could be several years before I end up finding the right copy. It's in a nice condition to put in my collection. So, and when I finally do that, I'm not going to get rid of this card, but most people would consider that an upgrade, but really I just consider it getting a nicer copy. I'm not ever going to get rid of this card because I will have had a great memory of looking at it for so long in my collection and appreciating it. So those are just a few thoughts there on upgrading. Would I ever upgrade a card? Yes, primarily if there was a card that I acquired and I viewed it as a mistake. I would absolutely want to get rid of that card, get it out of my collection, and get a nicer copy, like I did with the 67 Eddie Matthews. All right. So it's not like I would never do that, but I would say it's really rare. I've only ever done that once. So that was a fun topic, John. Thanks for bringing up that topic. Really enjoyed discussing that, making a video on it. Hope you enjoyed. On John's very next video, he talked about everything from why are we all here on this planet to discussing how we probably have more negative terms to describe our cards than positive ones, like junk wax, collector grade versus investment grade, quality versus quantity, low grade, oddball, commons, and off center. He discussed 3 of these being quality versus quantity, investment grade versus collector grade, and oddball in that video. So I will look to give my thoughts on all 3 of those, and of course, why we are all on this planet in an upcoming video. So stay tuned for that. My next Friday video, I will be ripping some more 1993 score packs for my set build. So I'll look to post that video the following Friday. Well, hey everyone, thanks so much for watching and enjoy the hobby.